In this video, we will know about the metamorphosis in insects. We know that insects have several body forms. Like in the beginning, they have eggs. These eggs then transform into the larval form, and that larval form may transform into the pupal form, or they may not transform into the pupal form. They become nymph, and that form eventually become the adult form. So this formations of different form in their life cycle, this is actually the metamorphosis is becoming the adult one from the young one. So the transformation, the metamorphosis in their developmental process, this is metamorphosis in insects. But as we know, this metamorphosis process is actually controlled by several enzymes, hormones, and different bodily factors. There are in every animal, in every organism, these hormones are very important for their development, right? So in this case, two hormones, that is juvenile hormone and ecdysone hormone, these two hormones are key for their transformation from the young one to the adult one and to help this metamorphosis process. But for that, what we have to know is what is metamorphosis. Here we can see in this picture, the metamorphosis is being done from egg to the adult form. But what is actually metamorphosis? This is a biological process by which any animal develops physiologically after birth or hatching, involving a conspicuous and relatively abrupt change in animal's body structure through cell growth and differentiation. So the cell growth and differentiation with time is taking place within these animals, and these animals are actually transforming from the egg form to the adult form. In between this process, in between this transformation from the egg to the adult one, there might be different events for different organisms. Depending on that, this metamorphosis process can be divided broadly in two processes. One is complete metamorphosis. The scientific term of that is holometabolous animals. In that case, the animals are said to be holometabolous, and the other metamorphosis process is incomplete metamorphosis. That is hemimetabolous process. In hemimetabolous process, what happens, the bodily forms are egg, nymph, and adult. So there is no larval form there. In incomplete metamorphosis, you can see in this picture on the right that there is no larval form in this in this life cycle. But on the left side picture, the picture on the left side, you can see the in holometabolous process there are distinct four stages of life form. One is the egg, then this egg is becoming the larva, and the larva is becoming the pupa, and the pupa is actually becoming the adult. So this is a complete metamorphosis where all the bodily forms are actually coming into the picture, actually coming into the life cycle. But in case of incomplete metamorphosis or the hemimetabolous animals, they have no larval form or pupal form. As you can see, they are actually the nymphal form. These nymphal forms are just a miniature form of the adult form. They're directly becoming this form, and then they are bypassing or escaping the larval or pupal stage and becoming the adult one. In case of complete metamorphosis, the example you can take as Drosophila, beetle, bees, butterflies, etc. In case of incomplete metamorphosis, you can cite the example of egg, nymph, and the adult forms of it. These forms are actually being shown or being displayed by the grasshoppers, cockroaches, lices, etc. Okay, so this is about the broad classification of metamorphosis. Another type of metamorphosis is there, that is ametabolous development or the simple metamorphosis, where you can see this is a type of insect or development in which there is no metamorphosis. So no metamorphosis is actually taking place in this case. The immature stage appears actually the similar form like that what actually will appear in its adult form. But what is the difference between its adult form and the developed form? Here the sexual structure will not be there. Like in the nymph, you can see the nymphal body is actually similar in type to the adult one, but they are lacking the sexual characters, sexual structures, or they might even lack the wings. So this is the difference. So if in this way the metamorphosis actually follows, then in that case you can say this is amorphous development or a simple metamorphosis. You can see cite the example of different apterogods, in this case like the silverfish, Lepisma lineus and springtail. All these animals actually show this type of metamorphosis, amorphous metamorphosis. Then another type of metamorphosis is there, or developmental processes there, that is gradual metamorphosis, that is paurometabulous development. What is found here? Here the less primitive forms like the grasshoppers or cockroaches or the praying mantis and white ants actually show this type of metamorphosis. What happens in this case? The newly emerged young one actually will closely resemble like that of the adult body form and its habits and habitats, but many adult characters like wings. In the previous one you have seen that there is no reproductive organ being developed. Here the wings and also the reproductive organ, these two are actually not being developed in this case. Okay, in this case the young forms are actually termed as the nymphs, as you know, and the external genitalia are also develops. Actually, when what happens after different molting process, this developmental organ actually develop gradually, right? So you can see this type different types of metamorphosis. So I have mentioned about the molting. What is molting? Molting is the shedding or casting off an outer layer or covering and the formation of its replacement. Molting, which is regulated by hormones, occurs throughout the animal kingdom. It includes the shedding and replacement of horns, hair, skin and feather. The body, external body skin, the external part of the body, as you know very well about the snakes, they actually get shedded off. They actually removes it from their body. You can see in this picture one part is being removed and a new form, new skin, new external characters, external features, external structures are being developed. So why this is important? Because the animal is actually growing in size with time. The animal is growing in size, growing, it is getting older and it is getting more developed in their bodily features. So for that thing, it needs to mold, it needs to shed off their external structures. So this is the molting process. In case of this metamorphosis, you will see the larva in larva of the insects, they undergo different molting processes, the shed of their external structures with time. Okay, so this is very important for the metamorphosis. If the molting is not being done, if the molting is being halted, that will actually halt the developmental process, the metamorphosis of that animal. So this is very important, molting. And here we can see the picture of a dissected cockroach. Here you can see the brain. Here lies the important factors, the important cells. These cells actually will produce this ecdysone and the uh, all the other hormones, ecdysone and the juvenile hormone, that will regulate the metamorphosis process. So in the next slide we will see how, in the next session we will see how this actually happens, how this actually goes, how these hormones actually interconnect with each other, how they crosstalk with each other, and they actually help this metamorphosis process. Thank you.